新年快乐, bonne année. I think this is going to be a wonderful and a magnificent 2025 and a great new year, and I wish you a fantastic, glorious, productive, and fruitful 2025. Still learning French. I'm still learning Mandarin. With the new year comes with new goals. Purpose of this video is just to document what I'm going to be doing, what my plans are for 2025. So for this 2025, my goal is to keep things très simple, very simple. We are going to be journaling. So last year I didn't do any journaling, of course, but this year I am going to be journaling en français, en chinois, because one of my goals for 2025 is to start a French blog. I have given myself at least the next 9 months to improve on my grammar, improve in my written French, so that realizing my goal to start a French blog will be realized this 2025. I have started journaling in French. I've created like a little blog for myself. I didn't create the actual blog online, but I'm just writing things as if I'm blogging. But yeah, so that's one of my goals, and so I've decided to incorporate journaling into my language learning process for French. I love to blog. I have a personal blog right now, and so I decided, you know what, why not, start a French blog. I'm not sure what it's going to be about, but I think the most exciting thing about that is that as a person who's learning French and now I'm starting a blog, I think that'll be really incredible. So that is something that I'm looking forward to this 2025. So stay tuned for my blog. The purpose of journaling for Mandarin is to learn characters, reinforce characters, memorization of words, and knowing how to use them, knowing where to apply them within a sentence, within the sentence structure. Using apps. I don't typically use a lot of apps. It's not by design, it's not necessarily by choice, it's just, I don't know, I just end up not using them really. I do use some apps sometimes, but this time around, because I want to be super excellent this 2025, I'm going to be using Quizlet. So one of my instructors uses Quizlet for vocabulary, and I've decided, you know what, I'm gonna start effectively and regularly using Quizlet to help me remember vocabulary, to help me reinforce vocabulary. I do use it for class, for my Mandarin class, but it's not something that I use all the time. And I use it because she puts it in there. Otherwise, if she didn't, I probably wouldn't use it. I will be using the free version, of course. This year, I'm gonna try not to be paying for things. I pay for a lot. I use Do Chinese, and I pay for that one. But it's great. It's great. I definitely recommend. Highly recommend. 非常好. So yeah, I'll be using that for vocabulary. In terms of French, with French it's a little challenging because we don't really focus on vocabulary. I feel like we focus a lot on grammar because I have to remember verbs, verb tenses, and it probably would be very useful to me to use Quizlet for learning verb and verb tenses, but we'll see. I like to write things down, so I might just practice with writing down verb tenses, do verb drills, and go from there, and then use Quizlet specifically for Mandarin vocabulary. So that's what we're doing. We'll see how that goes. Shadowing. That's another concept that I want to try out. Shadowing. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos talking about shadowing and how effective it is, and I think it'll be actually really good in terms of improving my accent. So I'm going to be doing a lot of shadowing with French to try to repeat what I hear during those dramas. I do find it a little bit challenging with Mandarin because they speak super fast. But yeah, I'll be looking on YouTube to help with shadowing videos so that it helps me with my accent. I think it will also help me with pacing and pronunciation and things like that. Mostly rely on just listening, and hopefully I sound French, but I think shadowing will help with pronunciation and with producing a French accent, producing a Mandarin Chinese accent. So we'll see how that goes. I'm super excited to try that method more intentionally. And one of my last methods that I'll be trying out is reading. Ooh, yes. So I did buy a novel. I'm going to be using that for French. At first, I had started just reading it through and, you know, trying to read slowly and hoping that, you know, I can pick up some words. I will just, you know, jot down the words that I don't know. But I've decided to really go through the text paragraph by paragraph to be making sure that I understand what is being talked about. Because sometimes, you know, it feels like, yeah, I generally understand, but I want to make sure my understanding this 2025 is more than just general. It's specific. It's intentional. I think that really helps with communication. To learn to communicate well, you have to be able to understand things well. So yeah, with French reading, I'm going to be incorporating that, just slowing things down, remembering that I'm not in a race. I'm not racing anybody. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not in a reading challenge. So my goal is to just go through each text very, very carefully, very, very slowly, and make sure that I understand each paragraph before moving on to the next. Very, very important. Very, very important. With Mandarin, with reading, I'm trying to incorporate that a little bit more. Like I said, I use Do Chinese. I'm going to be using that more frequently, you know, at least 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day in total, going through that text. You do have the ability to save vocabulary, which is amazing, which I love. So I think that this is a really great app to use. I know a lot of Mandarin learners use it, so that's something I'll be incorporating. I've had it for a very long time. I've been using it sporadically, but this year I want to be a little bit more intentional in terms of, you know, just learning more vocabulary, reading more, and building up my understanding. I'm just keeping things a bit more simple, a little bit more structured. I didn't have much structure last year, and I think that's because I was trying to figure out what works for me. One of the things that does work is, like I said, passive listening. It's an opportunity to just, you know, create that immersive environment, because I don't have French friends, I don't have Chinese friends, so I have to do what I can with what I have. Just learning the pacing of the language, learning vocabulary. Developing an accent is not the most important thing, but you know, it does add a little bit of je ne sais quoi. I don't know. So yeah, super fun. I'm very excited for this year. I'm excited to speak more. I'm excited to incorporate these methods to help build up and continue in confidence in learning Mandarin and learning French. And that's all for today. I will continue posting some new content, new videos. I feel super confident. I feel like, I finally figured it out. So as the year goes on, as the months come, as the weeks come, I'll be posting more content, and we'll see what progress we're making with what we're doing, what adjustments that I need to make if there are any. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Happy New Year!